What do you mean by dipole moment?
Movement of the possible active charges from
Dipole moment. What is dipole moment? P is equal to
QD.
Q into 2A, right? So because we said something like this.
2QL.
Yeah. So if I take this as the distance 2L, right? So the electric dipole moment P is defined as Q into 2L. Okay. And we did something like along the axis, right? So along the axis, what was the electric field? E is equal to, do you remember the final formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r
square.
Is it r squared? R cube. Okay. This is what we found, electric field due to a dipole in the along the axis. Okay. So how can I write this in vector form? Because electric field is a vector, so this is a magnitude. But P is a vector or a scalar? Vector, right? Which means when we did this work, we said this is going to be this way, this is going to be this way, so this is E1, this is E2. Okay? E1 and E2. Which one is going to be bigger, E1 or E2? Which one is closer? E1, which means E1 is going to be bigger. E2 is going to be smaller, which means the resultant is going to be this way, which is along the direction of P. So that means we will write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught to P vector R cube. Okay, because it's along the direction of P. Do you agree? So this is called the vector form. So Isha, for your benefit, I can say electric field is nothing but very similar to gravitational field, right? In gravitational field is due to a mass, right? For example, Earth is pulling us down. Similarly, electric field is something like a force generated due to charges, plus and minus. Okay, so we are going to be studying a lot of electricity and magnetism this year. Okay, the entire first book is all about electricity and magnetism. Okay. So electric field E is equal to F by Q, right? So per unit coulomb, right? Per unit charge. So I told you an easy way to remember is per kg apple, per kg oranges. So similarly, E is nothing but force per charge, F by Q. So E is equal to F by Q. Okay, coming back to this, the reason why I am starting with this is, we already talked about this, but we didn't talk about the vector form, right? So what is this line called? Equatorial plane. So we said, I think the other day I just drew it on the other side, but I can draw anywhere I want. So we said this, if I put a test charge here, this is going to repel this way. If I put a test charge here, it's going to get attracted this way, right? Test charge means it's always positive, right? So plus and plus repels, plus and minus attracts, right? But since it is from the same distance, right? We said this and this will be equal, right? So which means if I split this into x and y components, what will happen to these two things? These two will cancel and these two will add up. So we said this is E1 cos theta, this is E2 cos theta. So we said the total is E electric field is equal to E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. But since the distance is same, we found that E1 and E2 are same, which means it can be written as 2 times E1 cos theta. Right? We did the math and then finally what did we found? What did we find? E is equal to, very similar to that, without the 2, right? So it's 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught T by R cube, right? Now carefully listen, P is this side, this resultant is this side. Here I said P and this resultant is on the same direction. So I said this can be written like this because both are in the same direction. Are you following this? But here in the equatorial line, this is this way, whereas this P is this way. Why? Because P is always minus to plus. I told you it's north to south in the magnet, only in the outside of the magnet, but inside it is south to north. So similar to that, inside the charges it is minus to plus. Okay, this kind of situation. Similarly in the battery, right? Current flows from plus to minus, only in the external circuit. But inside the battery it is minus to plus. So minus to plus. Okay. So the electric field resultant is this way, whereas P is this way. So what should I do? How can I write it in vector form? E is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P vector by R cube. Do you agree with this? Because it's a opposite direction. Okay, so take it down. So this is a vector form, this is a vector form. So we didn't have time to complete this.